Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben and you're watching the Troutdoorsman. Today I wanted to go over the top 5 most effective lures that I have been using to catch trout and salmon this summer. I live in the Finger Lakes of New York and our lake temperatures are very high, somewhere in the 70s, and the fish have gotten very low. But the 5 lures I'm going to talk about today are lures that I have caught fish on all spring and all summer, and they're still effective. But before I get right into the video, go ahead, hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment below, turn the little notification bell on so you can get updated when I release another video. All of my videos are for you guys, they're not for me. I do this because I want to share the knowledge and information that I have with the world and hopefully gain some knowledge and information from you guys. So without further ado, we're going to get right into our video today, starting off with number 1. This is the most effective lure, in my opinion, for vertical jigging. I have used this lure all summer long, vertical jigging. I have this lure in a gold 1 ounce size and also a silver 1 ounce size. This is the Peanut Bunker from Thunder Mist Lure Company. This lure, I believe, is $6. It weighs 1 ounce, and I vertically jig this lure up and it flutters down, up and it flutters down, and usually on the drop is when I make most of my hookups with these lures. This is my favorite lure to go to when I first start vertical jigging. This is the first lure I'm going to put on, and usually I catch a trout within at least the first hour of vertical jigging. This lure is a 1 ounce size, and I like the 1 ounce size because it's heavy enough to where it gets down to the bottom fast enough if you're fishing 60, 70, 80 feet of water. It just gets down to the bottom quick enough, so you can really effectively get down. I use the silver on days that have, a lot of sunlight. The silver really catches the sun really well, and honestly, this is a very good imitation of a bait fish. It has eyes on each side, a little black mark on both sides, and it even has a gill contour. I mean, this thing looks like a real bait fish, injured bait fish in the water. And it's just highly effective. I use this color, the silver, on days that it is very sunny outside, and on low lighted days I go to the gold, right? Low light, low color, high light, high color. So I go to the gold on days like this where it's a little overcast, and it has been highly effective using this lure. The second lure I want to get into is also made by Thunder Mist Lure Company, and I want to say right now, this video is not sponsored by Thunder Mist Lure Company. I just particularly like Thunder Mist Lure Company. I like their YouTube channel. They're very informational. Evo does a great job, and I've purchased their lures with my own money, and they've been very effective fishing this summer. So the second lure I want to get into is this right here. This is the American Smelt. It is very similar to the Peanut Bunker. As you can see, it's almost the same type of lure. Well, it is the same type of lure, but it's almost the same. But the American Smelt is a 3/4 ounce size, and again, it has an eyeball. It has the gill contour. You can feel that, and this has been very effective fishing vertically. It has the same motion of going up and fluttering down, and it looks like an American Smelt. And it's just been a very effective lure. The thing I like about these vertical jigs is that the hook is on the face, which seems a little odd for the hook to be on the face, but what happens is the fish comes and they attack the bait by the head first, which is very important. That way they can really grab a hold of the fish, and it can't use its swimming ability to get away very quickly. So this hook placement, I think, is very ideal for vertical jigging. When they go to bite the head of the fish, automatically you have a hook set ready for them. Highly effective. I use this one only in the silver. It does come in gold, I believe, but I only have it in the silver just because I feel that I use it on days that the water is very calm and I don't need a whole 1 ounce vertical jigging spoon to get all the way down. I'm not battling any drift or any wind, so it's a lot easier to use a 3/4 rounds, get it down there, start vertically jigging it. I believe I have used both of those lures in some videos in the past, and I'm going to do some videos of vertical jigging in the future too. The third lure that I would like to talk about is also, well, it's a hybrid, but this is an Albino Fluke. This is not a vertical type jig. You can jig it vertically. I would not recommend it just because it doesn't give a natural presentation, but it is a vertical, a jig that you would cast horizontally to the water, let it sink all the way bottom, and then you are working it back towards the boat. And this is a great presentation. It's presenting a bait fish. And the jig head I am using again is actually from Thunder Mist Lure Company also. I guess I'm just a big fan of them. This is a white glow, 1/2 ounce size, has a red eye, and it's called a flexi jig. And what happens is this actually flexes down. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this whole jig actually flexes down. And what happens is when the fish goes to bite the lure, it flexes down and you can feel the fish, and you hook set, it gets them right in the roof of the mouth. Almost every time I've hooked up, it's been in the roof of the mouth. If you go to my how to catch summer brown trout video, that first brown trout that I caught, you can see this Albino Fluke just hanging out of its mouth in the video, and it's really cool. But this is very effective for brown trout, salmon. I haven't caught any lake trout on it yet, but oh, actually that's not true. I have caught a lake trout on it. So yes, it's effective for lake trout, brown trout, and salmon. But I typically catch brown trout and salmon on this jig. So the next jig I want to talk about is a kind of, it's not necessarily used for vertical jigging. It's more or less used for casting, but you can do both with it. This is a Crocodile Spoon with an oversized treble hook, because I actually bent the treble hook that was on it. But this is an effective lure to fish in the summertime. I like it because this one specifically is UV, and it has like spots on it that kind of imitate, eyes of a fish. As you're vertical jigging it, it'll shoot up and again flutter down, and it'll just be an effective presentation. As we know, pink is very, attractive color for trout, especially steelhead. This is, wouldn't be a steelhead lure you'd use, but pink is a very attractive color. This is why I like this Crocodile Spoon specifically. You can pick these up at any Dick's or Sportsman's Warehouse or Bass Pro Shop, and you can vertically jig this. Again, I think this is roughly 5/8 ounce. It's not very heavy. You're gonna wait a while for this lure to reach the bottom, just because it's not heavy. And if you have a lot of wind or your boat is drifting, it's kind of difficult to effectively fish it. But I like this also. You can cast it from shore and slow retrieve it, and it just does a back and forth fluttering motion like this, just like that as you're retrieving it. And it just creates a great presentation. When the fish are looking up, they're seeing that pattern right there, and they're looking up and seeing that, and they're coming up and attacking the end of it. And I just like this lure. It's been highly effective for me from the vertical jigging standpoint and also from shore. So the last lure I want to talk about today is a very notorious lure. It is most commonly used in trout fishermen. You can pick it up at any Walmart. You can pick it up at pretty much any sports fishing store, and it is the infamous Laker Taker. This lure is highly effective. I have it in the silver. I've seen it in tiger. I've seen it in chartreuse. I've seen it in silver and blue. I've seen it in gold. I mean, just all different kinds of patterns. And it's really not that fancy, right? It's just a silver spoon. It shines a lot on the highlighted days with lots of sun. It has a little fluttering tail. It comes with a yellow or red one. You can put either one on, it's fine. And then the placement of the treble hook right on the back. I have been most successful when the water is very calm, because this is very lightweight. But I will let this sink all the way down to the bottom, and I will vertically jig this up and follow my line all the way down. And I have caught more lake trout on this spoon than any other lure that I have. Really just because I fish it a lot. But this is a highly effective lure. Again, just like the crocodile lure, on the retrieve, it's doing one of these motions back and forth, and the bait fish, the fish are looking up at this bait fish presentation, and they're coming and they're just hammering this spoon. It's highly effective. It's one that I would recommend anybody put in their box, especially for summertime. This is a very, very effective way of fishing. Well, that just about sums it up for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead, hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment below. What's your name, where you're from, what kind of fish you like to catch. I would love to get to know you. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. You're only going to find this information right here on the Troutdoorsman.